Our blood is blue and we will leave you never.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Namaste, my sweet gangsters. Wagwan, and welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. And as always, mate, I really do hope you're doing well. I do hope you're doing well. Really do hope that's something like that. Welcome back to Chelsea news, of which there's quite a bit. Bobby Vincent is confirmed French defenders, centre-backs, returning soon. Benoit Badiashile is close from returning. Wesley Fofana's doing individual work. Huge boost to add to our current defenders. I do want to reference the Harry Kane release clause story that's going around, because remember, he built a house next to Cobham training ground. Ooh, could he be the perfect senior striker while someone like Nico Jackson and Mark Yu and Shimweka develops? I don't know. He does like London. Maybe gets his trophies this season and Bayern and comes back down. Also, Joao Felix scored in his debut like 10 minutes in. Dinked the keeper. Looked to me in a Coppa Italia win. Yes, and already the director's talking about keeping him permanently. So there is a lot to get into, guys. It's going to be a good video with you and me, mate. If you want to support the ting, then do so. Just drop a like on the video, and you are welcome to subscribe if you want to. Hit the bell if you choose to. And yeah, take a second to listen to this wonderful sponsor message. A big thank you to Incogni for sponsoring this video, guys. The internet is frightening. There are data brokers out there selling all your details. All the baddies online have access to lists with details to make your life a misery. You want to be kept safe. If you're like me, you want yourself removed from these data lists. Guys, there are hundreds of commercial databases that hold your details. This is growing all the time. You know what the internet's like. Stuff breeds very, very quickly, and your details are going everywhere. Your personal information, your home address, your relatives, your buying preferences, your family members, social security numbers, identification numbers, stuff that you don't want being spread about and purchased by the bad guys. Even if it's not big illegal activity and identity fraud, aren't you sick of getting spam emails all the time and spam calls all the time? Well, that's where Incogni comes in. I am delighted to be partnered with them because this is an awesome service. They can help you out in 3 simple steps. 1, you create an account and you tell them whose personal data that they will be removing for you. Then you just grant them the right to do that work, and then you can sit back, watch Incogni remove all that person's data from these horrible, nasty lists. 3, just kick back and watch them do the work. This is something that if you tried to do yourself manually, get yourself removed from these lists, it would take you forever. Guys, go check out Incogni now. Use my code FOOTBALL for 60% off your annual plan. 60% off. That's an amazing deal when you use my code FOOTBALL on Incogni, or click the link in the top of the description. Guys, it's time to clear your name off the internet. Go check out Incogni now. Lovely stuff. Do go check out Incogni. It's dope. I'm actually really impressed by it. I'm using it myself. Link in description. All right, friends. First of all, some good news. Returning players from injury. Bobby Vincent of Football.London says this: Benoit Badiashile is closing in on his return from injury. He is doing some individual work at the grassroots club training base in Cobham. Now, if you remember, cast your mind back not too long ago, Benoit Badiashile was putting in really good performances. Of course, he's a big, strong, left-footed centre-back who doesn't get bullied, but is actually really good at passing. Now, he's the rotational option for one Levi Colwill, who I, like many, believe in, but who I, like many, recognise he is in a frustrating slump of form. Of course, making a mistake for the goal last game out, coming out and owning it and apologising it. I like that. I like the kid. I think he's an aggressive defender. Of course, the footballing industry really, really rate him. Lots of big teams wanted to buy him off Chelsea. Chelsea were really pleased when they locked him down to a new long-term deal and explained to him, no, you're our guy. You're going to be very good for the next 10, 15 years, mate. So we want you at Chelsea. He felt valued. And yes, he's clearly going for a difficult spell. Now, Benoit Badiashile is still young, by the way, but he's slightly older, I believe. Just as I double, he's 23. He turns 24 next month. So he's a good couple of years, 2-3 years older than Levi Colwill, and he's got experience in different, leagues, and he's bigger and stronger. He's big Ben, isn't he? He's obviously been at Chelsea for a little while now as well. I think it would do us really good to get him back as an available option. He won't get bullied like in the way Colwill has been recently, especially by Bowen. Bowen's a really intelligent forward, don't get me wrong, but he's not like he's not like Mateta or Haaland or, pick big, strong centre forward. I didn't like to see that much. Benoit Badiashile, I'm not saying he's a solution to Chelsea long term. I'm still a great believer of Levi Colwill, but having him back can only be good. And I think Enzo Maresca really likes him, actually. Bobby Vincent of Football.London also confirms that Wesley Fofana has been doing individual work at Cobham in recent weeks. There will be no rushing the Frenchman back to action, with the club eager not to aggravate the muscular problem. Well, it's fine, really, guys, because if you think of it, with Badiashile coming back, left centre-back options, Badiashile, Colwill, right centre-back options, Trevoh, Chalobah, Tosin, Adarabioyo. So there's a lot there. There's a lot of cover. There's 4 centre-backs going into a 2 centre-back space. There'll be times when Reece James can cover briefly, or, there's lots and lots of options there. But that's why we didn't sign an extra centre-back in January. It's not, necessary. Do you know what I mean? So, generally good news. I'm pleased to see them coming back. And as much as I do enjoy the transfer window, because I think it's quite exciting, I like covering it, there is an element of, now it's closed, we can all take a collective deep breath, not least Enzo Maresca, who can just immediately look like a weight's lifted, because now some players who are frustrated they weren't playing, they've gone. We've done videos on this, lots of high-profile players have left. Apparently, he didn't actually want to loan out Vega or sell Cassidy because he liked them as rotational covering options, but those players themselves are headstrong, they wanted minutes. Fine. So, we get the sale of Cassidy. The money's okay, but the idea is you make a profit on the sell-on clause. And Vega, high-profile loan to Juve, still playing at centre-back. His value's going up. It's not the worst thing for Chelsea. And the loans are high-profile. Like, Joao Felix, what we're about to talk about here, to AC Milan, Champions League. Carney Chukwuemeka to Dortmund, Champions League. Axel Disasi to Aston Villa, Champions League. Do you know what I mean? These players are all going to play in Europe and play at a really high, good level. And even Ben Chilwell is going to be playing at a good level in the Premier League for Crystal Palace. So it was good exits. And like I said before, we won't do it to death now, but just to reiterate, if we meet our targets this season, this January transfer window, they'll see it as a great success, because we'll talk about Joao. I don't like that, but they'll see it as shaving the wage bill off massively, getting player values up, making a sell-on clause, and not getting bent over for a striker in a difficult window or goalkeeper, and they'll be more free to purchase more appropriately in the summer. That is if we meet our targets. If we don't, they look like knobbers because they had an opportunity to secure and offer that security, and they just simply didn't take it. So Joao Felix scored 10-11 minutes into his debut in the Coppa Italia for Milan against Roma. A very Chelsea scoreline, actually, because Dovbyk, I think, scored for Roma, the Ukrainian striker, who I thought we were looking at for a while. But old Tammy Abraham, who's actually on loan from Roma, scored a brace against his former club. I must say, I haven't seen the goals. I only saw Joao's goal. So I don't know I imagine Tammy didn't celebrate. But good move for him, being like the playing starting 9 for... How does that work? From Roma not playing as much to going to a Champions League club and being the guy. Feels kind of crazy. But Tammy's a good player. He's late 20s now as well. So he got a brace. And Joao Felix, he's just this anomaly, this guy. Because there's that picture of him, celebrating the goal with Rafa Leao, another Galactico Rafa Leao, both really high quality players. Leao's one of those players that you feel like, how is he still at Milan? But he's he's so weird, Felix, because he's obviously really good. He's only just turned 25, and he's played already at a lot of these big clubs, and he just fits in and does well. He's never really done anything wrong, I feel like, personally. Like, I genuinely feel like that. And if you look at his goal, again, like a few minutes into his debut, he literally dinks the keeper, a great demonstration of confidence. And he would have done that for Chelsea. Like, again, I'm not one of these people that think, oh, this was a ridiculous thing to do, loan him to Milan. I think in hindsight, the whole deal might be just look dumb. And I understand he was a bargaining chip for the Gallagher deal and all that, unsavory elements. But, like, I feel just sorry for the guy. I mean, it's hard to feel sorry for multimillionaires just scored a goal for Milan and, winning a cup. It's not, times aren't that hard for him. But, yeah, he clearly just wants to find a home. And it doesn't feel like it will be at Chelsea. Like, I've tried to highlight this. Young player goes on loan to Chelsea for 6 months in the weirdest time in our history, certainly in the last 2 decades, where we finished 12th and it was all mental and it was crazy, and the changeover of staff, playing staff, too many players, it was just insane. It was mental. We were a laughing stock, rightly so. He joins for 6 months. Lampard didn't start him towards the end, but he plays well, scores a few goals, and looks like he can mix it in the league. And he likes it at Chelsea, even though it was terrible and mental. He liked it at Chelsea, he liked it at London, he liked his teammates. So when he had the opportunity, a year later after the loan, to come back and by the way, it was Pochettino that didn't want Joao Felix, which kind of maybe inadvertently was a blessing, because it means he just went full in on Cole Palmer, and that was a good move, you must say. But then he gets the opportunity to return to Chelsea. He lowers his wage demands. Chelsea give him for a reasonable fee, and you feel like it's a kind of like a nice story there. Do you know what I mean? But the sporting directors apparently like him, hence getting him back, happy with his wage demands. Sign him on a 7-year deal and just loan him out immediately. It just looks so dumb, doesn't it? It looks so friggin' dumb. I'm pleased for him that he's immediately scored and looking good. And the Milan director, Moncada, if that's how you say it, he was asked about keeping Joao Felix, and he said this, quote, "Keeping Joao Felix? It would depend on Joao and us. There are always chances, even without a buy option clause." So there isn't a buy option clause, but it would be open for negotiation at the end of the loan spell come the summer. And he goes and he finishes by saying, "We have an excellent relationship with Chelsea. So we will see." Now, first of all, they must have an excellent relationship with Chelsea, AC Milan, or Milan, should we just call them, because they have done ruddy well out of us, mate. Like, just recently, Fikayo Tomori for like 20 million, who like went on to be starting centre-back in a title-winning team. Olivier Giroud did really, really well out there. Christian Pulisic's been in scintillating form of late. Ruben Loftus-Cheek they got for really, really cheap. He's been a really useful player for them. It just goes on. I know Tammy didn't go directly to them. He went to Roma, but he's of the Chelsea Academy. So they're, he must be good. Let's get him over here. And now Joao Felix. So no wonder they've got an excellent relationship with us, because they keep talking to us. And of course, they would have spoken to us also about Axel Disasi. I think he was being linked with them before Tottenham and Villa. I might be getting my wires crossed a little bit there. But point being, yeah. And, Joao Felix's Chelsea career might be 12 months separated into 2 6-month spells, one alone and one a 6-month contract into 7 years. Just weird. It feels a little bit sad. I really like him as a player. Again, I'm not going to cry for him like a Cole Palmer or a Reece James or a Caicedo. To a degree, Enzo Fernandez I really like. And but I just feel a bit bad for the guy. Anyway, we'll see what happens there. So guys, obviously the big problem positions for us. Not so much defender, because we've got defenders coming back. We'll probably buy a defender. Not so much midfielder, because we've bought this new young French lad. Santos is joining. Maybe we'll buy a CDM. Maybe we'll just utilise Leslie Ugochukwu. And you could maybe make a case for left winger once we know what's going on with Mykhailo Mudryk, and seeing how much development we see out of Tyreek George. But really, it's the two big ones, isn't it? It's the goalkeeper and the striker. Now, finally, blessed be all the respective gods, that Jorgensen, it's a hard J, isn't it, was given his chance in goal, and he looked alright, but, obviously it's a bit unfair for him because it's the pressure. You're coming in because of this other guy. You're not coming in for healthy rotation or because the other guy's injured. You're coming in because everyone's scrutinised the other guy so closely, and you're sort of coming in from the cold. So it is kind of tough. And a London derby as well. He couldn't do anything about the Bowen goal, but I think he looked all right. I think they should just swap. Let Sanchez keep playing, but playing in the Conference League until maybe like the final. I don't know. Because I'm thinking of that iconic Karius disaster class in the Champions League final for Liverpool, and this gives me. I feel like Sanchez is definitely capable of that. So the important games, maybe just give to Jorgensen, and we can analyse at the end of the season if he's the guy. And then I have a feeling, and this is no disrespect to him, I just have a feeling he's not. And if that's the case, then we buy a goalkeeper in the summer. But a striker now. Let me just pause to sip my coffee in my very exciting new coffee mug, which I got overly excited about yesterday. Sir Harold Kane, captain of England. No spring chicken anymore, but I think Chelsea fans have liked the idea of buying a senior striker. Now, I'm not saying we're going to buy Kane. We had been linked with him before, but yesterday, the Telegraph Sport released a story that Harry Kane has got a release clause in his Bayern Munich contract that could facilitate a return to England. This winter it was £67 million. I mean, Kane is not young, yeah? So Kane is over 30 now, right? Surely. Or he's 30. He's 31. No spring chicken, yeah, but he has spoken about Cristiano Ronaldo playing well into his 30s, Lewandowski, Benzema. He says, why not me? Like, I can do that as well. I'm planning on doing that. His release clause this winter was 67 million. Now, that's going down to 54 million. Harry Kane, and again, this is just clutching at relative straws, but he's built a quote mansion a few miles away from the Chelsea training ground. Now, when he was building this, when Pochettino began building it, when Pochettino was going to Chelsea, everyone thought, he's coming to Chelsea. He's not re-signed at Tottenham. He's going to come to Chelsea, play for Pochettino again, who he loves, play for a club in Chelsea that are synonymous with winning trophies. Yeah, although to be fair, it was coming off the Potter season, but we're still not long ago won the Champions League. And you just feel like Chelsea will always inherently have a better chance of winning trophies over the likes of Tottenham. And he just loves Pochettino, and South West London might be nice. I know he's not far in North London. But I have to just say, like, if it was an option, right? If Harry Kane to Chelsea for 50 million in a 2+1 deal, and look, he will immediately be amazing. Okay, I don't know if this is, apparently he is quite happy in Bayern Munich. Of course, he's probably going to finally win a trophy this season. He needs to win. I'm going to actually type what's the Bundesliga table saying, because I do feel scared for him. Okay, they're 6 points clear. They are 6 points clear. They're winning all the games again. Vincent Kompany is in dreamland with that job. I still can't quite believe it. Impressively, Leverkusen remain the second best team, but 6 points behind, in good form also. And Dortmund are in the bottom half of the table, bro. I know they sacked their manager recently, but Dortmund are supposed to be the guys that can maybe push them. Maybe RB Leipzig. Leipzig are actually fourth, and they are well off it, mate. They are 17, 18 points, something crazy. So Bayern are almost certainly going to win the league. Maybe he wins the title and says, look, I've got a league title, I've won a trophy. This whole situation of me not winning a trophy in my career will not come to pass. I've won a league title. I've won a golden boot with Bayern. You know, I'm obviously a very good footballer. I'd like to come back to London now to play golf in the mansion next to the Cobham training ground. Clutching at straws. But personally, as someone who believes, I believe in the Nicholas Jackson's development, you know, for future years. And of course, Chelsea have got very good young strikers. Shimweka, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, but people are saying he's going to be incredible. In fact, he might even be training with the first team at times this season. These kind of players don't want to see you signing a 24, 25-year-old striker. I'm not saying we shouldn't do, but that's what generally they don't want to see. Yeah, so Shim's 17, yeah? And he is a baller. He's got amazing control. He hits the ball incredibly well. And yeah, basically, you can sign a player like Harry Kane and try and win the Premier League next season. Simple as. Because, guys, I'm going to drop a stat on you now, and I realise this is a long video, so I apologise for those of you who prefer the more bite-sized content. But I'm going to drop a stat on you now, yeah. And I've said it on my social media. I might have even said it in yesterday's video. But since the beginning of December, no player in Europe's top 5 leagues, no player in the whole of the top 5 leagues in Europe have created as many chances as Cole Palmer. And in that time, he hasn't got a single assist. So he's created the most chances than any player, but he's not got a single assist. That is a reflection of absolutely diabolical and dismal finishing from Chelsea's goal scorers, or inverted commas goal scorers. You put a big boy in there, Harry Kane, he'll just eat him up. And he's going to be eating those up until he's... I don't know. Like, what's Chris Woods in the form of his career? And he's 33. He's a couple of years older than Harry Kane. Even if you just have Kane for a couple of seasons and then ship him off to, like, I don't know, if he doesn't want to go to Saudi, if he wants to play in Champions League still, maybe like Turkey, or, you know, maybe a Juventus sign him as a bit older or something. I would love that. I think that would be perfect to bridge the gap. But at the same time, look, let me let me firmly nail my colours to the mast here, guys. If we sign Victor Gyökeres, if we sign either of the Swedes in Isak or Gyökeres, I'm going to be made up. If we sign Osimhen, I'm going to be absolutely buzzing. But, you know, if there's a deal to be done there with a release clause of Kane and he wants to return to this part of London, then I just wanted to pose it to you guys and let you know my thoughts there. So, guys, let me know what you think. Comment down below. Do check out Incogni, by the way. It is awesome. I've got my data swept off the internet from that. So, click the link in the top of the description and go check out Incogni now. Big thank you to them. And, yeah, I hope to see you back here soon, guys. Take care of yourselves. Peace.